Hi there. E3 2015 brings us The Division. Andrew, we got to play it. What are your thoughts on that?
All right, so this is the first time pretty much anybody's got to play The Division.
Yeah.
And it's not at all what I expected. I don't know about you, but it's definitely more of an RPG than a shooter, which maybe that's what everybody's expected, but that's not what I expected.
Yeah.
And so it threw me for a little bit of a loop. That's not to say we didn't have a fun time, because we were on a team together with chat going against basically two other teams in this Dark Zone mode, where you go into a respawn restricted area, fight some AI enemies. There's like one loot crate, right? In a very obvious place. And it gave you a weapon that said, hey, this is contaminated. So you have to extract it from the Dark Zone. It reminded me of like an engram, for example, in Destiny, where you have to take it to somebody in order to actually like use it. So you couldn't like equip it, right?
Yeah, so like, just as a setup to like what we actually did.
Yeah.
Each team kind of had like its own street. You cross into the Dark Zone, you move in, and then you all meet in the middle, and that's what you fight over. Yeah, is the loot crate.
But like everybody got their own loot, right? Yeah. Like we weren't fighting over the same loot. It wasn't like a race to the loot.
Yeah.
But once you get past like the AI enemies, there's what is it called? The extraction zone.
Yeah.
And you send up a flare, and it starts a countdown.
It's like a minute 30 or something like that.
And then as you can see from that one demo they showed, that's when PvP kind of kicks in.
Right.
And you can actually like attack the other teams. You can stop the other people from extracting.
Yeah, and we did that right away. So I guess the idea
is... we were like, no, we're going to be rogue.
We're like, screw it.
Yeah. So like that kind of presented an interesting way of playing it. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wait, is this actually going to be fun? Like doing these missions, like, granted, this is the demo they're showing to the public at E3, so they have to make it succinct. They have to make it go by quick and like kind of not be complicated, right? So these missions will get stale real fast because it's like the same thing over and over and over. But I'm sure but he said it. The guy he was helping us out. He said this is just a small. They're gonna have huge extraction zones, dark zones, that have like multiple checkpoints. Spawn points that you don't have to like start all the way over.
Yeah.
And like way harder, like different extraction actual zones. Which when he was like, all right, bring up your map, right? And to find the extraction zone, and it's like everything from the Division's past showings, that cool map that like grows out of the floor.
Yeah.
It's like and like goes back. The camera pulls back. You're like, oh, that was awesome. And I'm like, wait. The f am I looking at? Like there was no way to see where I was on the map. Like, I couldn't read it at all.
Yeah,
so it's like things like that. This game looks cool, and the door closed when I went around cover, and the car door closed. But like when you're actually playing, like what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like this is not a shooter. This
one of the most bizarre things that happened was like we had like a dev behind us, kind of giving us pointers, and there was a moment where like we got really close to like a fellow player, right?
Yeah. And we were both kind of maneuvering around him.
Yeah, and my instinction is like I said out loud, "What's melee? How do I kill him?" And he literally
says,
like, "Oh, we don't have that.
Oh, we haven't put that in yet." He like made it sound like they were gonna add it in maybe later.
Yeah, it was bizarre. All there was push. So literally, I'm just pushing this guy back and forth, and I'm running out of ammo. Like, it was.
And there was a state where if you get hit enough, you like just go down into a state.
Yeah.
But you can crawl on like one hand, but you can't do anything with your other hand. Like you can't take shots or stab or anything.
Right.
And you have to wait for a revive. And so like we were both down, and this is an example of how clunky it is.
Yeah.
We were both like down, like moving around the guy, like circling him, and he didn't know what was going on, and he couldn't quite like get a grip on the controls to just like kill us both. And he was like reloading. It was so like
a little off.
It's a little off because like just jumping from cover, everything's so sticky that it gets messy, and it's not like precise as I like for a shooter to be.
Sure.
So I mean, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wait, what is this game? But there's plenty of modes probably coming out. There's plenty of stuff still to see.
Right.
But I'll say this was really enjoyable in the moment, probably because we were on a team going against other teams, and that aspect is always like, super good. Anything else we need to add?
No, I don't think so, man. I mean, it was just a little sliver of the Division.
Sure, the Division.
But
Don't get divided.
Don't get divided.